Hello, one and all. Decided that with the obscene amount of big-name blockbusters hitting theaters this summer, might as well jump on the review bandwagon. At first, I thought I had nothing unique to offer. Then I remember how this built-in webcam records this upside down, so there you go. Oh yeah, and I got rats. Luckily, I'm wearing headphones, cause allergies, it's kind of dusty in this place. And both of them come kind of sneezing. I'll sneeze right in your ear. You can feel rat mucus hit your tympanic membrane. Not pretty. Not fun. Come on, Crystal. Say hi to the camera. Come on, let's see if I can. Come on. Screw it. Okay. Anyway, now, I've already seen Thor, and it was bittersweet. It was a good movie, but no masterpiece, and made even worse when I remember that on its release date, I was originally supposed to get this instead. Yeah, I'm still pissed. And no, knowing Lizard is coming for the reboot helps none. I don't want any Lizard. I want Sam Raimi's take on the Lizard. All of his Spider-Man films were masterpieces, and I was ridiculously impressed with the way all their villains were handled. I repeat, all of his Spider-Man films were masterpieces, and I was ridiculously impressed with the way all their villains were handled. But as if to offer a consolidation, news came of a new X-Men movie for 2011 instead. At first, I didn't give a shit, despite being a huge X-Men fan. Sad but true story. Someone in the theater had a Magneto t-shirt on, and I instantly recognized which issue the illustration was from. Anyway, I had decided it was X-Men in need of a reboot, not Spider-Man. X-Men 3 wasn't terrible, but it can be summed up as clusterfucky. And while I enjoyed Wolverine, it was still a wee bit clusterfucky. But as more and more news came out, it looked like something I could get behind. First of all, it was going to deal with the relationship between Professor Xavier and Magneto and how a rift forms between them. I've long considered them to be the best hero-villain relationship in comics, so I was looking forward to more of that. And when I found Beast was in it, I was sold. I'm sorry, Beast will always be my favorite X-Man. So yeah, I saw the midnight opening, paid full price, and I felt it was worth every penny. For a movie I was originally nonchalant about, and how it looked like a rushed and troubled production history, so far it's easily one of the best films of 2011. Perhaps the most fun I've had seeing an X-Men movie since the original. It's one of those movies I'd recommend to anyone who wants something with effort put into character development, storytelling, and believable effects. I mean, one scene where the White Queen in Diamond Form knocks Magneto off a yacht boat, and he retaliates by lifting the anchor and whipping it around so the chain slices the boat up. One of many examples of action scenes done elegantly and adroitly. All the while, characters are never sacrificed, even during the effects-heavy comic-style fights. Some, like Havoc and Banshee, aren't developed all that much, while Mystique finally gets some genuine depth put into her character. Still, you get a sense of the X-Men's pride as they master their powers, their sense of pathos as the danger of the Cuban Missile Crisis looms. It's all good. Nothing of Dark Knight standards, hell no, but great nonetheless. I do have some minor gripes, like how Magneto is mostly portrayed as a revenge-obsessed assassin hunting down escaped Nazis. I mean, there's a reason he's considered the X-Men's #1 most popular enemy, even though folks like Sinister and Apocalypse can be far worse at times. It's had Magneto... I don't know. Magneto has some redeeming qualities, and the dichotomy with Xavier always made things three-dimensional. I just think Magneto was sold a little short. But this movie was so good, the typical fanboys bitching of others. I don't care here. Like how Banshee's a kid here, while the White Queen and Moira McTaggart, both of whom he worked closely with in the comics, are adults here. Or how Moira doesn't have her sexy Scottish accent. It's one of those movies that hooks you, and it's great how the trailer doesn't give everything away like, I don't know, Avatar! Even knowing the Cuban Missile Crisis is the stage for the endgame, the film still manages to keep you in suspense. And even scenes you knew about from the trailers, like Magneto lifting the sub out of the water, they still have impact when they finally come. If I gotta bitch about anything, It's some obviously inconsistencies with the other films. And no, it's not Bryan Singer as producer knocking the X-Men films he didn't direct, but all of them. It makes things a little confusing. Is this a sequel like Superman Returns, or a total reboot like Incredible Hulk? Still, whatever the case, this is now probably my favorite X-Men movie, and even had Hugh Jackman making a quick cameo, which everyone laughed at. Remind me of when the Doctor popped up in Star Trek First Contact. Everyone laughed then too. Also, when the credits rolled, people started clapping. I've only seen that happen 3 other times. The King Kong remake, and the 2 live-action Transformers films. With Transformers, I was thinking, oh, come on, they weren't that good. But this time, I actually joined in. I give X-Men First Class an 8.5 out of 10. Well, that's it for this review. This has gone on long enough. As for the next time I'm going to do this shit, take a wild guess. Take a wild fucking guess.